Hello, everyone, and welcome to the St. Ignatius Preparatory School Virtual College Fair. I'd like to thank you all for joining us here today. Just a few housekeeping items before we do get started. There's a Q&A button located at the bottom of your screen, which you can use to ask questions to our presenters at any time. If you do have a question for a specific college, make sure you mention them within your question. Your camera and microphone are turned off so the panelists cannot see or hear you. And this is just one of many sessions happening over the next 3 hours, so definitely go check out additional ones after this session. And this presentation is being recorded and will be available at the same site where you're registered within about a week. Now, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our first institution, which is Baylor University.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. We're so excited for you to learn a little bit about each of one of us. Let me start sharing my screen with you guys so I can kind of go over my presentation. And like they mentioned, feel free to ask any questions in the chat, and I'm happy to help answer those. All right, here we go. Perfect. Okay, so my name is Edion Castro Rivera. I'm one of the counselors at Baylor University in Waco, Texas. And so I'm going to kind of go over a little bit of history about Baylor and academics, clubs, organizations, and touch on a little bit on the academic process or the application process as well. So first thing is we are a private Christian university. It's a mid-sized university. We have a little over 14,000 undergrads, about 18,000 total students that are coming from all 50 states and 92 different countries. We are unapologetically Christian. You do not have to be Christian to attend Baylor, but you will be required to take 2 Christian courses throughout your 4 years, as well as 1 year of chapel. So it is going to be really prominent in the entirety of your education at Baylor. Like I mentioned, we're located in Waco, Texas. For you guys that aren't too familiar with the great country of Texas, Waco is located right in between Dallas and Austin. It's about an hour and a half in either direction. It's a mid-sized city, so it's not Chicago, it's not Houston, but it's not a tiny town in Texas either. So it's a nice little balance, similar to who we are as an institution as well in terms of size. When it comes to academics, there's a lot of different majors and programs. And when you're applying to Baylor, you're applying to it as a whole. There's over 140 different majors and programs. And so whether you're interested in biology, business, engineering, those are going to be some of our top programs. We have about a 72% acceptance rate into medical schools when students graduate on the pre-med track. We have fantastic business programs, mechanical, electrical engineering, aviation sciences, nursing. So a lot of different programs that students can kind of study depending on what they're interested in. But it's going to be very similar learning style that you're getting at St. Ignatius, with our average class size of 26, with our student to faculty ratio of 14:1. So this is really beneficial for your learning. So you're not going to be in a class of 400 students, 300 students in a giant lecture hall. And so you're going to have that attention from faculty members. And they really go out of their way to really make sure to get to know their students. And so it's just going to be really advantageous throughout your time at Baylor. At Baylor, we definitely want to make Baylor home away from home. And so for us, it's all about establishing that sense of community on campus. We have over 330 different clubs and organizations for students to be a part of, whether you're interested in Greek life, whether you're interested in music organization, theater, student government. There's a lot of different student organizations on campus. And the first week that you move into campus in August, it's called Welcome Week. And that first Friday there's an event called Late Night, where every single student organization sets up a table around campus and you're able to go around and sign up for all the different things that you're interested in. We're not a commuter school by any means. And so definitely it's a very lively campus throughout the week and on weekends, whether it's through the student organizations or sports or anything in between. Speaking of sports, we are part of the Division One for the Big 12 Conference in sports. So we have 19 Division One sports, ranging from men's football, basketball, baseball, equestrian. It's been a wild year for sure, especially with our men's basketball team winning the NCAA championship. We're very, very excited. Women came pretty close, but they've already been running circles around the men's for the last several years. So it was definitely a chance for them to win. But all of our sporting events are included in tuition, so there's no fee that you have to pay extra. There's no tickets that you have to buy, no lottery system, anything like that. You just go to the games. And so there's definitely a lot of fun kind of atmosphere when it comes to all of our sporting events. But for students that, you just don't have that ability, I can't play football to save my life, but we have a lot of club and intramural sports as well that students can definitely stay active on campus without having that commitment to a Division I sport. So definitely really big on campus as well. In terms of tradition, we've been around for 176 years at this point. We're actually the oldest continuous university in the state of Texas, and we're older than Texas has been a state. And so with that, there's a lot of different traditions, and I'll go over some of my favorite ones, like the Baylor line. And so as a freshman, you guys are going to get a gold jersey. On the back's going to be your name. And then during every single football home game, every freshman is allowed to rush the football field and create a tunnel for the football players to run through. It's super, super awesome. We're the only country, or the only university in the country that's allowed to have all the freshmen on the field during a football game. So it's super, super fun. We have the oldest and largest homecoming parade in the country as well. So it's a massive event that happens in the fall for homecoming, like pigskin review, the parade, everything like that. Christmas on 5th is another really big one, where I know for you guys in Chicago, snow is not a really big deal, but Texans love it. And so we have fake snow on campus, and students are able to participate in all the festivities right before the holidays in December. In terms of the application process, there's a few things that we require. And so your actual application, whether it's Common Application, the Baylor application, or Apply Texas, they're all free. So we have absolutely no preference on which one you choose. So it's just a matter of your preference. Then you're going to decide whether you're going to go test optional or test required. Between the SAT or ACT, we'll need your official transcripts as well as your essay. There are a few optional items, and you'll see that in your Go Baylor account once that gets created. These are kind of the deadlines that we're looking for. December 1st or November 1st will be for early action and early decision 1, and then February 1st for regular decision and early decision 2. So those are definitely very important for you guys. But overall, we would love for you guys to come visit campus. We are opening for juniors sometime in the next few weeks, so you guys are able to come down to campus and explore and take a tour of campus. Otherwise, reach out to me if you guys have any questions. I'll put that in the chat as well, and I'll be happy to meet with you guys as well. So thank you so much for coming to listen and me talk, and I'll pass along the baton.
Thank you, Baylor, for that presentation. Up next, we have University of Redlands.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sebastian Brown. I am the admissions counselor here at the University of Redlands that has the pleasure of working with all of you in the state of Illinois. I'm also a Redlands alum, so can certainly share a lot of experiences having been here 9 years now. When you find something good, you don't want to leave it. So I'm excited to share a little bit more about Redlands. If you're not familiar with where Redlands is, we are located here in Southern California, pretty perfectly located within the state. So we are actually 60 to 90 minutes from the beach, the mountains, the desert, and Disneyland, all equidistant to campus. So if you've never done it before, it is completely possible. I myself have done it, where you ski in the mornings, maybe do some surfing and kayaking at the beach in the afternoons, wrap up the day with a quick trip to Disneyland for their midnight fireworks show, and you're still in bed back on campus, all within the same 24 hours. It also means that our students have access to LA, Orange County, and San Diego, whether it's for sports and recreation or for job placements and internships, without being inundated, in the cities of LA and Orange County when it comes to kind of the notorious California traffic. It's also hard to overlook the fact that right now it's a rather cool day for us, and it's probably about 75 degrees outside, and it is like that year round. So if you're kind of over your Chicago and Illinois weather from throughout the year, Redlands could be a great opportunity for you to enjoy some summer months really around the year. So here at the University of Redlands, we are a small private liberal arts and sciences institution, meaning that we are home to about 2,500 students that come from all over the place. We're actually about 30% out of state or international students, and one of our largest out-of-state populations is actually from Chicago. So here at Redlands, we have over 120 clubs and organizations. That is something that I think really defines who our students are, and what they do is getting involved in our campus community and in the local community as well. So ranging from Division III athletics, which gives you a really nice balance between your athletic performance and your academic performance, as well as clubs and organizations, Greek life, studying abroad. We're also very proud that we are about a third of our students, our first generation or the first in their families to attend college, and all of the support systems that come along with that. So getting to California, here at Redlands, we actually guarantee your housing on campus all 4 years, meaning that about 80% of our students live on campus from freshman to senior year. That also means a really strong sense of community because students stick around and they continue to join clubs and organizations that kind of help fill their free time in the afternoons rather than rushing to their cars to beat the traffic home because they live off campus. We also are proud to support our students in your academics. Here at Redlands, you're entitled to 2 hours of tutoring per subject per week, and that is all included in your tuition, as well as any additional tutoring that may happen through departments, faculty meetings, those kinds of things. Redlands is kind of uniquely known for 2 main programs, the first being our study abroad opportunities. You can see the pictures here of our beautiful Salzburg campus that takes place in Salzburg, Austria. We actually have a Salzburg +1 program where you could study in Salzburg for a semester and then still have a semester abroad in another foreign country, and that's all included in your tuition here. So getting out and exploring the world for the much bigger place that it is important to our students. Maybe California is the first study away experience for you, but we encourage you to even expand your horizons further than just California. The other is community service. We consistently do over 120,000 hours of service every year on campus. We're actually one of the few schools that's nationally recognized as a top producer for both the Peace Corps and the Fulbright Scholarship. So here at Redlands, our average class size is 18 students. We have a student to faculty ratio of 13:1, meaning that you're going to learn a lot from not only your faculty, and they're going to be able to advise you every step of the way, but also a lot from your peers. Here's a list of our 40+ programs of study. I encourage you to take a quick picture, some that you may be not familiar with or different than at other schools. One, for example, being our Johnston Center for Integrative Studies, in which students can effectively create their own major. They're in their 4 years here. The other is our minor in spatial studies, in which students use geospatial mapping and data analysis to help drive decision-making. It's really 21st century technology to help our students make 22nd century decisions. Now, as far as getting to Redlands, we have 2 central deadlines, January 15th and November 15th of your senior year. Now, we do not treat you any differently in terms of admissions requirements or financial aid, whether you apply regular decision, again in January, or early action, early decision in November. That is really ball is in your court, empowering you to decide when to apply and when you feel like you're the most competitive as an applicant. We are test optional from here on out, and although we do have fee waivers available for students upon request. So as your admissions counselor, just reach out to me. I'd be happy to work that out with you. Last thing is financial aid here at the University of Redlands. Our average financial aid package is over $46,000 per year, and we do have additional scholarships in the areas of art, creative writing, theater, music, as well as leadership. Last but not least, it's important that you graduate on time, if not early. And here at Redlands, we guarantee that you will graduate in 4 years. And that is a question that I'd love to answer if anyone has any questions about that. A little bit of information that you can take along with you, and I'll also share some in the chat. Thanks.
Thank you, University of Redlands, for that presentation. Up next, we have Loyola Marymount University.
Wonderful. All right, hi everybody. My name is Evelyn Fajardo. I am an admission counselor at Loyola Marymount University, and I'm really excited to be here with you all today. So one of the things that I love to mention to students, they always ask, what makes LMU special? What makes LMU unique? And it's a combination of 3 things. We are Jesuit, we are medium-sized, and we are located in Los Angeles, California. So those are the things I will be focusing on today. You all are not strangers to what education is all about. And so if you want to continue this education that really focuses on creating men and women to be with and for others. I'm sure that's a phrase you all have heard a lot. Then I definitely recommend that you check out the nation's Jesuit universities. There are 27 in the United States. Some of my colleagues are here today, and we are the Jesuit University of sunny Southern California. At LMU, we implement these Jesuit ideals through 3 pillars of our mission. The first is the encouragement of learning. Of course, you're learning inside the classroom with the conversations with your peers and your professors, but we also have tons of opportunities outside of the classroom, including research. You can get together with faculty that are already conducting research in an area that you're interested in, or maybe you have your own niche interest that you want to explore during your time at LMU. We can help you do that. You want to get involved in an ongoing project, multidisciplinary project, we have plenty of those as well, including our CubeSats program, which is launching an LMU nano satellite into space within the next few years. We take advantage of living in Los Angeles, California. Students use the resources that the city makes available as an extension of the classroom. And we also have over 80 different study abroad programs that our students can take advantage of. We believe in the education of the whole person, which means, yes, academics are super important, but it's not the only part of who you are as an individual. We want to make sure that we are educating all facets of who you are. In addition to growing academically, you're also going to be growing in your interpersonal skills, your leadership abilities, and your professional skills. And if you are a person of faith, we also have tons of opportunities for you to engage more deeply in that area, which brings us to the last part of our mission, which is the service of faith and promotion of justice. LMU is a Catholic university, of course, run by the Jesuits, but only 50% of our students are Catholic. 50% of our students take advantage of our offerings when it comes to engaging in the Catholic faith, and 50% of our students are everything else under the sun. We have Christians of all denominations, we have Muslim students, Jewish students on campus, atheist students, agnostic students, and we offer spiritual opportunities for people of all different faith backgrounds to really engage in that in a deeper and more meaningful way. Though, of course, it's always 100% voluntary at LMU. We're also known for, we're ranked number 4 in the nation for students most engaged in community service. So if you want to go to a school where that's a huge part of the campus culture, you will definitely find that at LMU. We are a medium-sized institution, meaning we're large enough to offer lots of the opportunities you'd find on a larger campus, including NCAA Division I athletics. We have over 150 different academic programs, including majors, minors, pre-professional programs, credential programs. We also have over 200 different clubs and organizations on campus, and that number just continues to grow, including sororities and fraternities. That being said, we're still small enough to honor the academic integrity of a small classroom size. Average class size at LMU is 19 students, and our student to faculty ratio is 10-1. So you really get to know our faculty members, and they help you grow, not just academically, but also in your personal and in your professional life. We do offer 61 majors, 55 minors across 5 different undergraduate schools and colleges. That represents the 5 main areas of study at LMU, including liberal arts, business, communication and fine arts, film and television, and science and engineering. So 61 majors, 55 minors, all organized into those different schools and colleges. We really encourage students who are interested in exploring a variety of different academic subjects to double major, to major and minor. I know one student who's a triple major and is able to do that in 4 years. So we definitely encourage that kind of academic exploration at LMU. And finally, I just want to talk about our location. We are located in Los Angeles, California. So if you want to continue that big city feel, but you want to go to a location where there's sun a lot more of the time, then Southern California is definitely for you. LA is pretty big, so it's helpful to know where we are. We're about 10 minutes away from the beach and also about 10 minutes away from the airport, which is super convenient for you who are coming from out of state, which would be all of you. In terms of this location, it gives you the best of both worlds in terms of access to the city and fun things to do, including going to the beach, hiking in the mountains, exploring Hollywood, downtown Los Angeles, exploring all the different professional opportunities. but we're located in a safe residential neighborhood, so you get that more traditional campus experience. We are ranked number 11 in the nation for most beautiful campuses in America, and it's a very serene spot. I like to think of it as an oasis within the bigger city of Los Angeles, one of the few places in LA where you're able to see both the Pacific Ocean and the Hollywood sign when you're standing at the same exact spot, which is wonderful. And of course, the view of the entire city of Los Angeles at night is really special. And one of the things I do want to mention is because of our location, students have access to so many different internship and job opportunities. We are the University of Silicon Beach, which is well known for being one of the fastest growing hubs for technology media startup companies. But no matter what your industry, you will get hands-on opportunities. We're very happy that we have between 97 to 99% of our students go into a job or a graduate program after they graduate from LMU. So that's something we're really proud of. So I do want to encourage you all to stay in touch. If you are interested, you have any questions about LMU, I'm more than happy to answer those in the chat. And if you would like a more detailed overview, you can visit us at our website, lmu.edu/visit. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much for that presentation. As a reminder for our attendees, if you do have questions, definitely don't hesitate to use the Q&A down below. Up next, University of Denver.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jen Parr-Gross. I'm the Midwest Regional Director for the University of Denver, and I am based in Illinois. So I work with students from Illinois, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. I'm excited to be here today. So let me tell you a little bit about the University of Denver. We're a medium-sized national private liberal arts university. We're dedicated to the public good. We are located in Denver, Colorado, and that's a city of about 2.5 million in population. It's about a 2-hour flight from Chicago or a 16-hour drive. And the campus itself, as you can see, is 8 miles south of the downtown area. Denver is the #2 tech city in the United States. It's one of the top cities for young adults. It's one of the healthiest cities in the US, and Denver has all the government agencies. Our own backyard is the Rocky Mountains. So over 70% of our students complete an internship, and having such a robust city contributes to our students' opportunities to participate in those internships, not only in Denver, but worldwide. In 2020, US News and World Report ranked DU 80th among national universities. Denver itself has over 300 days of sunshine a year. When it snows in Denver, it typically melts by noon or 1 o'clock, which is the oddest thing for us Midwesterners. And because of the altitude, there's low to no humidity, which means there's no mosquitoes, very few bugs, and almost always a good hair day. We have a population of about 13,000 total students, including our graduate and PhD students, and about 5,700 undergraduate students. The student faculty ratio is 12:1, and you're looking at an average class size of about 23. In fact, 99.9% of our undergraduate classes are taught by professors. That 0.01 is our music school, and TAs teach lessons. DU is a medium-sized school with small school attributes, and we are also an NCAA Division I sports school. We include a new women's triathlete program along lines with our women's gymnastics, men's hockey, women's and men's soccer, and lacrosse, to name a few. 29% of our students are from the state of Colorado. And so this means most of our students are from out of state. You've got, you've got nearly 20% of last year's students from the Midwest, and we require freshmen and sophomores to live on campus with guaranteed student housing. You have a campus that is 150 acres, so it's very walkable. I call it residential with a little bit of urban flair. And if Chipotle is a requirement, the first one ever built is 3 blocks off campus. Students get around that whole Denver metropolitan area for free, utilizing the light rail and the buses. And that even includes trips out to the airport. You'll find over 100 different areas of academic study at DU, including business, which is our largest. It's our largest major, and it is offering 5 new 4+1 undergrad grad programs through the Daniels College of Business. This includes finance, business analytics, management, marketing, and also real estate in the built environment. The next largest major is going to be our biological sciences, and it includes things like ecology, biodiversity, pre-med, sustainability. There's a new major in physiology and health and disease, and a new minor in human health science and systems. Engineering and computer science has one of the oldest gaming programs in the US, and our international studies program is ranked 6th in the world. This includes areas like public policy, diplomacy, homeland security, and not-for-profit. The Lamont School of Music offers over 300 performances even during a pandemic, and jazz is their forte. They just announced last week a new minor in ethnomusicology, which is an opportunity to study music in and as a culture. I would round out the remaining top majors with psychology, communications, journalism, and media studies. And we're also one of 16 universities that offers a 6-year law program. In June 2019, the June 2019 graduates, 90% of them were employed or enrolled in that next level of education within 6 months of graduation. There are 3 areas I think that make DU pretty unique. One is we operate on a quarter system. Students take 3 out of 4 quarters, with summer being optional. Quarters are 10 weeks long, with a 6-week winter break from Thanksgiving till January 4th. You take 4 to 5 classes per quarter, which means you're taking 12 to 18 classes for the year. Students on our quarter system take 30% more classes than students on a semester system. And this is really great for a lot of reasons. One, if you're coming in undeclared or undecided, which is about 33% of our students, plenty of time to discover what's really that passion for you and what's going to resonate with you. And also what can complement your major. So a lot of our students will do multiples because they can, where they can do double majors, majors and double minors, majors, minors, and concentration. Again, over 200 of our students are participating in research. That's another area. One of the opportunities is called Partners in Scholarship. And that is an undergraduate opportunity to present a proposal to faculty and get funding to do your research. You have a faculty assistant who's helping you, and your research is not only funded, but you're going to publish your findings and present at a symposium, all at the undergraduate level. The Sherrington Global Scholars Program is DU's specific study abroad program. Any student that has a 3.0 GPA going into junior or senior year can study abroad at no additional cost than what it costs to attend DU for the quarter, but you're studying abroad for a semester. This is not a consortium program, so these are actual articulation agreements that we have with these universities overseas. We are ranked 8th among all colleges and universities for percentage of students studying abroad, with 77% of our students choosing to do so. We have over 150 partners in 52 different countries, basically every place but Antarctica. We accept both the Common App and the Pioneer application. We've been test optional for over 3 years, and we will continue to do so. We review all applications holistically. Our early action deadline is November 1st, with decisions being released in mid-December, and our regular decision deadline is January 15th, with decisions being released at the end of February. All students are automatically considered for merit scholarships ranging from $10,000 to $30,000 per year for 4 years, whether you apply with a test score or without. So make sure you grab that QR code for more information about the University of Denver. I'll put my contact information in the chat. And my advice to you is keep your balance. I wish you the very best on your college search, and I hope we find DU among your college choices. Thank you.
Thank you very much, University of Denver. Up next, we have Regis University.
Hey, everybody. Let me pull up this presentation for you. So we're going to leave DU, and then we're going to hop on I-25, and we're going to go just north of downtown to Regis University. So again, my name is Nick Carrain. I'm the Senior Assistant Director of Admissions at Regis University. We're located in Denver, Colorado. I also serve as the admissions counselor for students from the Upper Midwest, including Illinois. So again, getting us started, Regis University is located in the Highlands neighborhood, which is a residential pocket in the northwest corner of Denver, about 5 to 10 minutes from downtown proper. So Denver is one of the most active, educated, and fastest growing cities in the country, all things which certainly create a wealth of opportunities for our students and graduates. Academically, this usually comes by way of clinical rotations, academic internships, and community-based work study positions. Socially, it often takes the form of concerts, sporting events, and hanging out at the numerous parks and coffee shops in our little pocket of Denver. And if downtown is 5 to 10 minutes south of our campus, then the Rocky Mountains begin their rise about 15 to 20 minutes west of campus. So whether it's skiing with friends on the weekend, sunset hikes with your roommates, or overnight excursions with our outdoor adventure program, having the mountains in our backyard certainly feeds our appetite for adventure. And walking around campus day to day are about 3,000 students, 2,000 of which are traditional undergraduate students. So this breaks down to an incoming first year class of around 500 students each fall. In the classroom, our average class size features 17 students, almost all of which are capped at 30 students. 100% of our courses are taught by professors who hold the terminal degrees in their fields of study. So there are no TAs teaching classes at Regis. And our students come from all over the world. So there's a heavy dose from Colorado, California, and the Midwest specifically. And beyond these stats that you see on the screen, in my 15 years at Regis as a student and as a staff member, I have found that Regis students tend to be very curious, very down to earth, and adventurous individuals. And our student body has just a little bit of quirkiness to keep things interesting and fun. As a Jesuit university, which you all have familiarity with this, and a liberal arts and sciences university, we genuinely care about the evolution of our students from young adults into well-rounded citizens. So academically, socially, spiritually, we provide students with the tools to see the world and its nuances more clearly, to be sensible and sensitive to the challenges of others, and to really work towards building a more just and humane world, regardless of our majors. I once spoke with a Jesuit priest who described Regis as a very Jesuit university, and that our students, our faculty, our staff have a genuine desire to use their passions, talents, and their education to make the world a better place. Fun fact, Regis is the only Jesuit school in that entire Rocky Mountain region that you see on the screen. Academically, we are very well known for our programs in the sciences, especially the health sciences. Our direct entry nursing program was recently ranked as the #1 nursing program in the state of Colorado, and our Doctor of Physical Therapy program is ranked in the top 25. Beyond the sciences, majors in business, computing, education, and the humanities represent other popular areas of study for our students. And as far as unique majors are concerned, we're one of a handful of schools in the country who offer a full Bachelor's of Science in Neuroscience. So if any of you are really into the brain and how and why it does what it does, they do some really cool research in that program. And as far as the admissions process is concerned, Regis University is on rolling admissions, meaning students can submit their admission materials throughout the course of their final year in high school. Those of you who are interested in our direct entry nursing program, we want to make sure that you apply by our December 1st priority deadline. And applying to Regis is free year-round, and we are on the Common Application. As of this past year, we are also officially test optional for all of our undergraduate programs, and all applicants, regardless of whether they submit test scores or not, are given maximum consideration for admission, merit scholarships, and financial aid. And speaking of scholarships and financial aid, 99% of our students are receiving those things. So when we review applicants for admission, we are also considering them for merit scholarships, which range from $5,000 to $20,000 a year and are awarded at the time of admission. So on average, students are receiving about $30,000 total in scholarships and grants from Regis. This is before any federal loans or student employment opportunities are taken into consideration. And beyond our merit scholarships, we give out roughly 25 scholarships each year during our full tuition scholarship weekends in February. We also have talent scholarships available for students who are recruited to our music, speech and debate, or Division II athletic programs. And then lastly, we're really excited to share that Father Fitzgibbons, our president, recently committed to a return to normalcy plan for next year, which includes in-person orientation, classes, exams, and residential living. We also have in-person tours available for students as well. So thank you again for your time. Thank you to all my colleagues up here as well, and have a good rest of your day.
Thank you for that presentation. Our final institution for this session is Santa Clara University.
Hello, thank you so much for having us today. My name is Kendall Wilburn, and I'm an Assistant Director of Undergraduate Admission at Santa Clara University. We are also a Jesuit institution, so some of this information may sound a little bit familiar, but we are the Jesuit University of Silicon Valley. So There are a few important things that I think really make Santa Clara stand out that I'll discuss today, as well as our admission process and what we're looking for. So the first thing that I'd like to touch on today is our location. So as I mentioned, we are located in the heart of the Silicon Valley in the San Francisco Bay Area, just about an hour south of San Francisco and 5 to 10 minutes north of San Jose. So between two pretty big cities in Northern California. A little over half of our students do come from the state of California, but it is a huge state, so they are not all local students. And the other nearly half of our students represent almost every state and many countries around the world. Illinois for the last few years has been in our top 5 out of state. Last year, it took second place out of state, and many of our students are coming from the Chicago area in particular, and quite a few from St. Ignatius in particular as well. I'd say our location really benefits our students professionally the most. So when you think of Silicon Valley, you think Facebook, Apple, Google, Netflix, Yahoo, YouTube, all these platforms online that you're using on a daily basis. And these are where our students go and get their internships and full-time job offers once they graduate. So about 80% of our students will take on an internship. Many are working at those big time tech companies out here in the Bay Area. But there are so many other professional opportunities if you're interested in nonprofit, education, medicine, law. There is just so much going on here in the Bay Area. And then on the fun side of things, as I mentioned, we're near 2 pretty big cities, which means airports are really close to direct flights into Chicago, which is easy for travel back and forth. We're also about 40 minutes away from the beach in Santa Cruz. So if you want to go down and hang out by the water, that's a pretty popular weekend trip, as well as Lake Tahoe and Yosemite if you're looking to hike or ski as well. I'd say the second most important thing in terms of what makes Santa Clara unique is our Jesuit identity. So just like a few other universities here, we are one of the 27 Jesuit universities in the US, which really means that we're focused on educating the whole person at Santa Clara, the mind, body, and spirit, really making sure that our students are cared for in every aspect of their experience. And we really have a strong focus on social justice in our education here at Santa Clara. So making sure that our students are going out into the world and having a positive impact in their field and really using what they learn in the classroom to go out and change their communities for the better. So in one way in particular that our students do that is through our experiential learning for social justice course. So all students are required to take an ELSJ course through our core curriculum. So they're actually going out and doing experiential learning in our local community and really engaging with the area where we live and figuring out how they can have that impact. As a Jesuit university, we are a Catholic school, but you do not need to be Catholic to attend Santa Clara. About half of our students do identify as Catholic or Christian. The other 50% represent just about every other faith background or no faith background at all, and all are welcomed at Santa Clara. You are never required to attend Mass. You do have to take 3 religion courses as part of our core curriculum, but we offer courses in all different religions. So you do not have to study Catholicism. A lot of our students, even those who come from no religious background, actually end up saying that their religion classes are their favorites when they graduate. Some of our most popular courses are things like the theology of marriage, theology of death, theology of sex and relationships. And so it's really about applying religious thought to different topics in society and understanding how different religions view these things. So it's a really great way to expand your perspective through our core curriculum. Our students also go out and apply what they learn through things like study abroad. About 25% of our students will study abroad. Immersion programs can happen in the US or internationally over winter, spring, and summer breaks. And then, as I mentioned, different community-based learning options in our local community. And then our educational experience, I think, sets us apart as well. So we are a medium-sized institution on the smaller side of medium, around 5,500 undergraduate students with an 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio and an average class size of just about 23 students. So you really are going to get that personalized academic experience at Santa Clara, where you get to know your professors and your peers well. Your professors want to get to know you beyond the classroom, so they have open office hours where you can come ask for help or just chat about your passions. A lot of our professors have professional experience or are currently working professionally, especially in the Silicon Valley. And so they offer great resources and connections for you as you're looking for those internships and job offers as well. And then in terms of our application process, we are on the Common App. When you apply to Santa Clara, you're actually going to apply to one of our 3 academic schools in particular. So either the College of Arts and Sciences, the Levy School of Business, or the School of Engineering. You don't have to pick a major within the school when you apply, although you can if you'd like, but you do have to select the particular school that you would like to be considered for. Arts and Sciences is the largest, and then Business and Engineering are going to be a little more competitive since they're on the smaller side. I'll breeze through quickly. These are the things that we'll look at in your application. It is a holistic review process. And one big thing to note, I would say, is we will be test optional for at least the next year and hope to continue that into the future. And then finally, if you'd like to take a picture here, these are the upcoming admission deadlines. If for all of you who will be seniors in the fall, we encourage you to submit the FAFSA and CSS profile for consideration for need-based financial aid. And then all students are automatically considered for all merit scholarships in the admission process. I'll go ahead and put some information in the chat as well for you to connect with us if you have any other questions, but thanks so much.
Thank you everyone for those presentations. We do have a few minutes left, so we're going to do a quick little round robin questionnaire. So I'm going to have our representatives answer, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we'll go in presentation order. So we'll start with Baylor University.
Yeah, so I guess my biggest advice is when you're looking through like different universities, because there's so many and so many different options. The biggest thing is when you're looking at a school, make sure that when you're looking at a school and applying to them, that they offer the program that you're looking for. Don't fall in love with, like, for example, at Baylor, like I get so many questions about architecture. We have no architecture at all. So if you want to be in architecture, we're not the school for you. So definitely make sure that you're looking at like the majors when you're applying to the different schools.
University of Redlands.
Yeah, I love and hate this question because when I was a high school student, I applied to 35 different schools. So my first thing is do not do that because you can only choose one at the end. And really my advice is get to know your admissions counselor. We are not the big scary people you think we might be. Do not call me Mr. Brown, like that is my father. And we're really here to help you through this process and find the perfect school. If you come on a visit to Redlands and realize that you really love a much larger school or a different atmosphere, I've in part done my job in helping you find that right fit. So get to know your admissions counselor because we can make this process a lot easier for you.
Loyola Marymount.
For me, I would just echo that. As a first generation college student, I didn't realize that we had the resources that we had at our disposal with admission counselors. The other thing I would recommend, especially for my first gen students, is don't just get stuck on the names that you've heard in movies when it comes to colleges. Definitely, these are great opportunities for you to explore. I'm sure you're hearing of brand new colleges and universities that you didn't know existed. There are tons of us across the United States. It doesn't just have to be the ones that you've heard in movies. So my biggest thing is definitely explore because you might find something you've never heard of that's a great fit for you.
University of Denver.
Yeah, you guys are in an interesting position because this is all about you. You're looking for a place that's going to give you the educational opportunities in an environment you're going to be comfortable in, that's going to be your home away from home. So things are going to start to sound the same. So as cheesy as it might sound, as you're visiting schools, take some photos, take some notes, but also find one question to ask all colleges and universities that's really important to you. When I'm looking for a fit, I think it's important to find out what's the passion or the purpose. Why are people here every day at this institution? That's a question I asked on the college search side, but you can certainly use that in a instead of a job search in the college search. So, find that one question that's really important to you to kind of help you define what the schools you're looking at and what has the same values you do.
Regis University.
This might say more about my personality type, but when you go visit colleges, so when you can and if you can, go visit as many colleges as possible. and obviously take the tours and do all of that stuff and ask the great questions. But I always encourage students, like, spend some time walking around the campus by yourself and just try to like be aware of what's going on around you and listen and just kind of see and feel what the campus is like on your own terms and see how that kind of resonates with inside of you.
And Santa Clara.
I think everyone's given great advice already, but one other thing I would add is really focus on a couple identifying characteristics that'll help you narrow down your list. So in terms of fit, are you looking for a really large school, or do you really want a smaller community to come into? Do you want a campus that's in a city or something that's more suburban or rural? And so I think some of those more general characteristics can really help you shorten that list of schools that you're looking at, so you're not applying to 35 universities as a high school student, and really finding what's going to work for you, and then ultimately determining which school of those that has your major and is in the location you're looking for is going to be the best fit.
Thank you all for that wonderful advice. And thank you, attendees, for joining us today. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey, and we would appreciate any feedback you can give us. This is also just one of many sessions happening. There are 2 more hours, so definitely go check out other sessions. And just remember that you can ask your St. Ignatius counselors questions about the college search in the counselor corner going on right now. In about a week, you'll also be able to find this session's recording at the same site where you registered. Again, thank you for joining us and have a great evening.